Hey y'all, welcome back to SistaLoc, and we're here with a sit down chit chat, where we've been, and also spill some tea about our family.
Right. If you didn't know, my name is Christy.
And my name is Paulette.
So yes, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and also check out our Instagram and be listed down below, and it'll also be at the end of the video.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
All right, so basically we're going to start off with some information about ourselves. We're just going to talk about, the reason why we're making this video is because we're not consistent on our social media platforms, mostly our YouTube channel. Like, we were on a roll. Last year we started our channel and we were doing pretty good, but then life happens,
and we just want to speak on that. And especially since the pandemic hit, it just really made us do a lot of reflection on our family and the environment we grew up in, and how that's actually affecting us right now, like with YouTube. So yeah, what's the first thing we wanted to?
So we're gonna start off with why we can't stay on track.
Why can't we stay on track?
We can't stay on track because we live in a small house with a lot of children. These children do not.
We have not mothered these children.
Yes, they're not our children. They're our older sisters' children. So she has 5 kids, and me and Paula don't have any kids.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, basically, we were all like kind of forced into the same house. So that's like the main reason why we're not consistent on YouTube is just because we don't have the space to be consistent.
Yeah, we don't have the space. We don't have the environment, especially with the fact that our house is like the loud house. You know the show The Loud House? It's a lot going on, so you need it to be quiet. You need to have an area, and it's kind of hard because I share a room with because there are nieces and one nephew.
Yeah.
So I share a room with with all of them. And then Christy has her own room. However, it's just, okay, if we go in Christy's room and record, we still have to worry about the noise. There's just so much noise. And it was a little easier to record last year, first time around, because I lived in college. So if I needed to record a video, I could do it in my dorm room, or we'll try to find some weekend time. It just was a little bit more easier because now all of the kids are there. Before there were like, what, 2?
Yeah, before there were 2 kids living with us.
Yeah.
And of course, like, we can make it work because they were older. So, one was 10 or 9 at the time, and the other one was 7 at the time. And they both had birthdays this year. So, of course, they're 10 and 8 now. And when they were there, it was fine because they're older. So we're able to, push them to the side, get you a little corner, be quiet while we're doing something. And that worked out because Paulette wasn't living in there, so they had their own space. So
once I graduated from college, it's like, I kind of feel like a low-key a burden because I'm like, I'm in here.
Well, no, you're
but it's
not
like, but I'm like, this is my mom's house. I was welcome back here after college. But we're not saying this as an excuse to not be, why we're not just, I don't know, I don't want you to think this is an excuse. But we just want to tell you guys it's just difficult for us. And it kind of saddens us because we want to put out content and we have ideas. It's just really hard when you live in a house full of children, and then the children have mental illnesses as well. And we're trying to be mothers, YouTubers, sisters, and daughters all in one house.
Right. And business owners.
Right, exactly.
We are working on our own business at this, at this current time. So yeah, like, it's not an excuse, but it is a valid reason. And it's not like, the physical aspect of children is one thing, but, the emotional, like, it takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
Like, and people think, oh, well, it's a lot of you guys. Like, it's my mom, my dad, us too, sometimes a mother, but it's still
outnumbered.
We're still outnumbered. It's still more
still
children.
5 kids, more than adults in the house.
Yeah.
Especially when it's only the 3 main adults. It's me, my mom, and Christy. And if one clock out, I might clock out too, you know, like we're not always gonna be on the same page. Like one day Christy might feel productive, then I might not feel productive, and then one day I'll wake up productive. She looking at me like, "Girl, I'm not feeling it today," or we've had broken sleep because of any type of family drama that happened the night before or in the morning time. So it's like it's a lot emotionally. It really is. So it kind of like makes you want to stay in the bed. It makes you depressed. Just put the word out there. It makes you depressed, and it makes you not want to do anything, and then you feel even more worse because you haven't done anything. And
it's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Basically, you wake up. I feel great today. Let's record a video. We get dressed. We get ready, and then you know some kids will come over. Like then you know like there'll be times where like okay. So basically, let's just put it out there. So we grew up together. There's my mom and dad has 3 daughters. So my older sister, me, I'm the middle, and then Paula's the youngest. So from us, like me and Paula are the closest. Like even though we're 7 years apart, I'm 30. She's 23. She just had a birthday, and our older sister is 3 years older than me, so she'll be 33. And like our dynamic is difficult. You know, like we don't get along with our older sister because she doesn't take responsibility for her actions. So we're struggling with that. So that's our main family, you know, dynamic. And then she had 5 children, and her children are ages 14, 10, 8, 4, and 2. So right, so there's four girls, and then 1 little boy, which is the baby. And you know, our oldest niece, she didn't live with us. Originally, she was living with my grandmother, but during the pandemic, she came down because, of course, you know, my grandmother's older, and she's not able to, you know, keep up. You know, we want to keep her safe, so she's quarantined at her house. So once, you know, my niece left her house, there was no going back. So, you know, she stays with us now. And then our older sister got a job during this pandemic, and I feel like that was selfish. But you know, we'll talk about that later. But so when she did that, then the youngest 2, you know, the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old, they came to stay with us even more. Like she works nights, so you know the kids will go to school or daycare like during the daytime, and then my mom would pick them up and bring them straight home. So then, like, whatever we could get done, like, if we weren't motivated that day, then it just didn't get done. So, and you know, like, if anybody has kids out there, you know, like, toddlers and babies, like, they're never going to leave you alone, you know?
They are on your head to the to the morning time, like 7 in the morning, till they go back to, when they get dropped off at school, and then at 5 o'clock, they on it again, back at home. Running around, diapers, baths, food, whining, crying, diaper changing. It's just
it never stops. It never stops. So it's a constant, you know, thing. And maybe like once or twice out of the week they might go to their mother's house. Excuse me. And that's our break. But then when you have a break, do you necessarily want to work? Do you necessarily want to like sit down and plan? It's like, yeah, we have the ideas, but it doesn't always, you know, turn out well. We film plenty of videos. Like I film videos by myself. We film videos together. We just scratched it, you know, because, you know, in this field of YouTube, it's like for people to even see your videos, it has to be like, you know,
of quality.
You can't come on here with, you know, those
unless people already know you and like you.
Yeah, exactly.
From Instagram or another platform.
Exactly. We haven't built up a social media following to even like, you know, let people to rock, you know, expect people to rock with us through bad videos. Like, I don't want to put out trash. Like, I want it to be good. I want it to be great.
So, what was the next topic?
So, our next topic is, we already did our age differences, our parents, childhood experiences.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say, like, childhood experiences in our family?
Regarding, like, the dysfunctional?
Yeah, so I guess we can, well, I feel like that kind of goes under mental illness, to be frank. So
mental illness runs in our family. I want to. This is the real thing. I asked Mom this the other day. I was like, Mom, why? Okay, because everybody says you and Christy are normal. right? Like, cause we don't have we don't have bipolar, we're not diagnosed with depression, you know, stuff like that. Oh, my nose is running. 1 second. Sorry. Oh, my nose leaking on here.
We're just gonna edit that out.
But I know people usually say, "Oh, you and Christy are the normal ones. What happened to Kelly?" And I asked my mom the other day. I said, "Where does the mental illness come from in our family?" I'm like, "Is it your side? Is it dad's side? Like, who has it? Where did it come from? Like, because usually that stuff is in the family." And it's really like taking a toll on our family as a unit because our sister has a mental illness. She's diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I just know she's bipolar for sure. And this ain't she just crazy. No, she got issues.
Yeah,
like she not working with a full deck of cards, okay? And she lets her anger out as well because she doesn't know how to communicate well, and she feels like we're against her and we don't love her, which is not the case at all. She's just not receptive to our love, and even not just receptive to our feelings or how we feel about things.
Everything is very narcissistic
and really one-sided, and at times it's really scary because it's like, damn, like, are we really family? Because I don't feel like you ever look out for my best interest. No. I feel like that. Not even towards myself, but for her, for my mom, for my dad, even sometimes her kid. I'm like, who interests are you really looking out for?
Yeah, it's like,
if it's not yours, then
it's like, okay, so because she has mental illness, and it's kind of been not swept under the rug, but it's kind of like, oh, that's just how she is. And I think in the Black community, we kind of like deal with mental illness as like some distant, like figure of speech.
Just crazy.
It's just crazy. Let's throw it under the crazy umbrella. But like the crazy umbrella has many like different tiers. You know, it's like a little bit, a lot of bit, all in this explosion. Like, you know what I'm saying? And because she has mental illness, I feel like that kind of trickled down to her children. So her oldest two, as of now, have both been diagnosed with their separate mental illnesses, but as they grow up, they've kind of manifested into like deeper, like more extreme. Like before, it was, the oldest one, she was really shy to the point where she really didn't talk much, and it was like her way of dealing with her emotions was like doing art. So we thought, oh, that's great, let's do your art, da 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 da. And then she, went through some life changes, and they kind of like catapulted all these different like emotions where things start getting dark. There was some, I don't know what to share and what not to share. I don't want to throw words.
Yeah, you don't want to overshare. Just know, like, she really was going through some. She is still, but she's getting better. She was going through some deep, dark.
Yeah, like I don't want to say names. We're not going to disclose any children's names in this video because
that's our babies.
Like, that's our babies.
We're not here to complain or anything about that. We just want to be vulnerable and be open to y'all about our household. Like, it's not easy.
It's a form of therapy for us to talk about it because we never talk about it.
No.
We only talk about it amongst ourselves when we talk about it with outside people. They're not living in it, so it's hard for them to grasp like the full concept. It's like, oh, it's crazy over there, but it can't be that bad.
It's bad.
Oh, it's bad. We're not even. We'll get into that. We might even have to make a separate video. It might be a part 2.
Shit, y'all want a day in the life in a dysfunctional house?
Let's stay on track.
Okay.
So and then that's the oldest one. The second oldest, the 10-year-old. She has we've known. She's the one that stayed with us from the beginning.
Since she was a baby.
Since she was a baby, she's been with us, like our immediate family from the beginning. She has they diagnosed her with ADHD, but as she's gotten older, her behavior has been very aggressive and very not much like ADHD.
Yeah.
And I'm a psychology major. I was in college, and from what I've learned, it doesn't seem like she fits that bill. So we're in the process of having to figure it out. And when you're not really sure, what's the issue or what's behind it all, it's kind of hard to manage it because it could be something different every day. One day it's a chill day. The next day it's a bad day. She'll wake up with an attitude that nobody caused, and it's like, okay, how do you deal with that? You're not 2 or 5 anymore. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You're a bigger person now.
You think she's gonna get older and she's gonna get better, but damn it, the older she got, it got worse.
Yeah, it was
like getting better.
It was a point, but some like
went down.
Yeah. It did get better. Like, she's been kicked out of a couple of schools, multiple schools. She's been in some special education programs, and it hasn't gotten any better. And I think we are not able to do everything. My mom isn't able to do everything. My dad is not able to do everything.
And that's the good thing that you brought up right now, Mom. Now you're thinking, okay, don't all of these children have a mother? Yeah, they do. It's the older sister, but essentially our mother who birthed me, Christy, and Kelly. Me, Christy, and our other sister is she's taking care of all her kids. So whatever she takes on, whatever our mother takes on, we take it on as well.
Yeah, it becomes our battle because we're her helpers.
We're like her little elves.
Yeah,
she's our Santa. She's our little helpers. I'm like, what you need us to do? And it kind of sucks because it's like, it's not my responsibility. Yeah. And for a long time, I didn't realize that until I was therapy, and my therapist was like, that's just, you didn't pick that battle. So why are you even in the battle with your mom? But I'm like, it's my mother. Like, I have to help her. My mom. My mom helps me. I have to help her. But I realized that it's really selfish what my mom is doing. But at the same time, it's selfless. It's selfish and selfless.
Basically, because she thinks that by her taking all these kids under her wings and having us help, she's doing the better thing, the noble thing. And, the intention is there. Mm-hmm. It's a great thing to do, but it's also, wearing her down, wearing us down, wearing our whole family down.
It's put a strain on the family.
Exactly.
It's put a strain
absolutely on, because you didn't make the person responsible. Like,
this responsible for
that's like you made a choice of doing something. You have to live with this. I can't take the burden for you, because if I take the burden for you, you're gonna feel like you're Scots-free and that you're untouchable. Like, you don't have to deal with it because you're dealing with it for me.
But then again, you think of, but our sister's an adult. Yeah, she should just want to come and take her kids and do right by them. Yeah,
the only time she has this incentive to take her kids is when she's upset with us. And
that's when is popping.
But then it's like, you think like, okay, she comes over, she says crazy things about us, and we're at the point where we used to argue with her and we used to fight with her. It used to be a whole commotion. It used to be a
whole uproar. If you talk, that's the one thing too about our house that makes it really dysfunctional. You cannot walk around the house, talk shit, think you're gonna get away with it. No, you're not gonna get away with it.
Somebody's gonna talk shit
back to you. Y'all we gonna put hands on each other. Something is going to happen. And recently, I guess because the whole pandemic, we all know we can't really go nowhere, because once we fight, where we gonna go?
Right. It's like, I can't go. You can't go back to school. I can't just go to somebody's house. Like, I don't have that, that luxury.
We've chosen the wiser route to just ignore her. And it's new and it's low-key liberating too at the same time.
It is kind of nice,
because it's like, she going off on everybody early at 8 o'clock in the morning. Can you get the cold out of my eye? And she going off calling you be this, be that, or y'all.
We can take it to the streets. Like,
you know what? Oh gosh, don't get me started. But we wake up to that, and where was I going with this?
Yeah, and then we just don't.
We just don't engage. We just don't.
We just decided not to engage anymore because
I laugh at it at this point.
Well, I just feel like if you know somebody has mental illness, you're not gonna make the excuse for them. You're not gonna give them what they want, because ultimately she wants to argue, she wants to fight with us, like, and flip the tables on us. Like, y'all attack me, y'all ganging up on me, because if one person says something, most likely the next person's gonna say something. Yeah. So it's just like this whole like cycle of like, I'm gonna talk shit, and if y'all talk back, it's gonna be
war.
It's gonna be war.
And nobody wants that, because last time we got into it, my back was hurting. I am not
the last time you got into it, my 80, how old is grandma?
I don't know.
She like old, okay? She like, we'll just throw her. She 80 years old. She's not a fragile woman by any means, but she is older, and I I let my older sister like get me out of character in front of my grandmother because I never cursed in front of my grandmother. I don't,
No, we got respect.
I have respect for my grandmother, but I literally was dogging her out. He was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But it started with her attitude. It started with her mouth. It started with her going off and being all
irrational.
At our house, though, you have your own house. That's what I told her. Like, you have your own house. Go to your house and talk that shit. Go to your house and act
because we don't want no more drama. Like, if anybody knows something, our house, okay, not only do we deal with our family, but we deal with outsiders who cannot stay out of our house.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. That sounds
people
like
keep coming over our
like
house.
Maybe a friend of our dad's, maybe a friend of my mom, whatever. My friend, nobody can stay up at our house. And I'm like, the house about this big now, y'all.
Right.
And then here we go, add our sister to it. She bring commotion. And
yeah.
Like, we got
it's like the space that she takes up is monumental. It's like, have you ever known somebody just come into a room and just suck all the energy out of it? Suck the energy out. And I'm not saying like she's a bad person because she apologizes after she does shit. Not to us anymore. We don't get apologies. That shit don't matter. She just started talking to us and we just gotta like take it for what it is. But you know, like I honestly and truly just be so. I just want to jump out my skin sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just want to remove yourself.
Yeah, you just want to disappear. You know, just like slowly just.
Wither away.
Wither away. You just one God. Like it was one time. I feel like it was the last week. She walked in the house when I was doing Jade's hair, something. One of her kids' hair. Oh, I was doing one of our niece's hair, whatever. And she walked in, and before she could even look at me, I felt her, and I was just like, I'm gonna go in the back of the house. Like I'm just gonna go in the room. I told my niece like, tell me when she gone, and I'll be back, cause I was like. I don't want to have no stare down competition. I don't want to feel what you got going on because once I feel it, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to feel sad or whatever the case is. It's going to spark up an emotion that I ain't even want on me for the day. And for her, I think it's like, I'm not no punk and I ain't going to let nobody like feel no type of way about me. Why can't I feel no type of way about you?
Yeah.
Like, why can't I not feel no type of way about how you
treat me? To be honest, it might seem like we're like dogging her out and making everything her fault. And it's not because we have taken on a role and you can't just quit on kids. You can't decide one day you're going to do something for them and the next day do nothing for them. They're going to expect it from you. So like, it may seem like, oh, you guys just don't like her. No, it's way more than that. It's a million stories I can tell about how I've been wronged by her. But I'm over that. It's past the point of my personal.
Right. That's what I told my best friend. I told her, like, I don't even want her to do right by me no more. I don't care. Don't think about me. I don't even want you to think Paulette or Christy. No. Think of the 5 kids you have before me. Because if you do right by them, that's what makes me happy. Because at the end of the day, what you don't do, that falls on us even more.
Right.
And then whatever we do for the kids, they still act like, okay, but it's not my mom doing it, so.
Yeah, and it's like,
who cares?
We're like, it's like she set us up for failure.
Yeah.
She set everybody up for failure. In that sense, like you set yourself up for failure because when these kids get older, you know, the oldest 2, they already have their reservations about their mother. Mm-hmm. We encourage them to speak to her, but they're afraid to speak to her because they don't know how she'll react. Like, because she is aggressive and she is irrational at times. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, how do you can't make up for somebody's mother. Like, a stepmother is not a mother. Like, yeah, that can be good, but somebody is always going to want their mother.
I want the lady who I came out of.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if she's well and alive. You see her moving around doing stuff for everybody else, and you're just thinking, like, oh my God, what about me?
Yeah.
You know, because that's what the oldest 3 really feel like. Real 4, to be honest. Because even the 4-year-old, like, she feels like she'll have her moments where she's really just sad. And imagine being 4 years old and you missing your mom. Girl. It's weird. It's like, and people be like, oh, they're just, you know, whatever. But I'm like, literally, I have seen this little girl sitting at the counter with a sad face. You know, you ask her, oh, what's wrong? Did somebody do something to you? Da, 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 da.
I want my mommy.
I want my mom. I miss my mom.
And it's like,
what do you say?
You just be like,
oh, baby, give me a hug. But I'm not your mother. That hug will not do the same. It won't do anything.
It doesn't do
so,
anything.
yeah. Did we say how many people live in our house?
Oh, how many? Okay, let's count. It's me, you,
Mom,
Dad. Oh, it's 8 of us.
Whopping. That's 9.
Oh, girl, ooh, I did this. That's what. It's 9 of us. Ooh, girl.
There's 9 of us.
It's 9 of us. And, oh, damn.
Yeah, when you think about that.
Alicia, I mean, she kind of always not there.
So, and through this whole pandemic, because I mean, it's kind of hard.
We gotta talk about this.
We do gotta talk about this, just because it's a part of it. So, our sister decided that her third child, which is the 8-year-old, will be better off living with one of her friends. For what reason, we don't know. She has been staying with us for at least 2 years already. And she decided that she would be better off at somebody else's house. What makes her say that? I don't know. I really don't know. And it's been a battle, so I guess you can say it's been 8 of us. But I don't want to discount her because, you know, she's still
part of the family.
She's still part of our family, but she hasn't been around for the last couple months, really.
Yeah.
She's like in and out. So basically, it's like that's another divide that she's created. For what reason, we don't know.
Which is so strange because it's like she made it seem like that our niece had to leave our house in order to get something. Like she was missing something.
Right.
But really, what she was missing was you.
Yeah.
Because she was getting fed. She was taking baths every day. She had a bed. She, whatever. She had the basic necessities. She just didn't have a mom. And she made it seem like
we were doing something wrong
towards her. And I was like,
and it's weird.
And it's a lot of kids. So everybody's gonna treat the children a little different. A little differently how we view them. Like, mom is more nicer to the younger ones, and she's more stricter on the oldest ones, and whatever. It's when you're in the middle, you kind of get lost in between that.
Yeah, and she's exactly the middle. And
she's a middle kid.
It's 5. She's smack in the middle. Yeah,
she's lost between the
youngest and the oldest. She's a little more quiet. She used to do things for attention, and but we were working on her. Like we had a system. We had because to be honest, me and Paulette are head of what would you call it?
What? Daycare?
We're basically disciplinaries of the house.
Yes.
And I don't want it to be that way, but we demand our respect. There's not going to be any talking back. There's not going to be any talking reckless to each other. It's not. We don't just demand respect for ourselves, but for everybody. And our parents are older. They're kind of just stop talking back to me, sit down, you're a kid. It doesn't work with these kids. These kids are not like us when we were kids. And I know people always say that. People used to say that.
The next generation always
say that. But the next generation learns more. When I grew up, there was no internet.
Oh, God.
Dial-up was a thing.
So kids, our kids, they stay on them, the laptops, the iPads, the TV, the everything. I'm not going to lie. I really wish we could just take all the TVs away out the house and just have one designated one in the living room. But then it's sometimes we need those TVs because, say, at night when we don't want to be bothered, throw the movie on, lay the kids down. Yeah. That's the only reason why. But I feel like they're so consumed by electronics. Yeah, they are.
And that's
what we're talking about.
Yeah. How it affects our daily lives. Who has it? What illnesses? We kind of talked about that. That's enough.
Yeah.
How is it stigmatized outside the house?
Oh, how does it tie outside the house?
Stigmatized.
Oh,
stigmatized.
Okay.
So
well, I don't know how to word it. You start off first. I like to piggyback off of you.
Okay. Excuse me. So for the general topic of mental illness, inside our house, people like to make excuses for those who have mental illnesses, and how they treat other people. So my mom is very much a loving person to the point where she will overdo it. She will give you more than you want, more than you need, and
more
she
than
loves
handle
more than you can handle. She over loves, and I would say like when you are somebody who has a mental illness, you'll take advantage of her. She's easily taken advantage of. And we see that. So we try not to be like, Mom, it's okay, it's okay. So in our household, when people with mental illness, like, you know, mistreat her and mistreat other people, is kind of like swept under the rug. It's kind of like, oh, you know, it's that way because, you know, they have this or that because of that. And on the outside of our family, it's like that's just how they are, you know, because they don't see it for how it is. It's only a select few people that I've seen is, you know, at the, you know, at its peak. And that's really like the main thing. Like the stigma behind mental illness affects our day-to-day lives, where like if one of our kids is, you know, feeling down and sad and it will trickle down to everybody.
Yeah, it will trickle down to the rest of the kids. No lie. It's like, say if one of the second oldest, say if she has a problem with something, it might be as small as she don't want to take a bath for the night. It's really that simple. Or she don't want to eat the dinner that my mother cooked that night, or she's time to get off the game or do homework. Like day-to-day regular things that a person will be like, all right, it's true, I gotta get off the game. I've been on this game for all day, or it's time to go take a bath, I do smell, whatever the case. And something that'd be so simple, she will blow it up times 30. I ain't gonna say 10 or 20, 30, 50, maybe 100 on a bath. Because she just can't take, like, I don't know, she gets so angry. She gets so frustrated, so angry. She feels like no one understands her. She feels like we're attacking her. She feels like there's no love. When she feels like she can't have her way, she feels like the whole world is against her. And I'm like,
and that big trip, and that very much reminds me of her mother. And I hate to say it, but we do say it. You acting just like your mom. Because
I hate that we say it, but it's the truth.
It's the truth. And I won't say we do. We
are perfect.
We're not perfect. And I don't want it to be like, oh, well, you're doing all you can. No, we could do more.
We could do a little bit more.
But we do as much as we can do. Like, I feel like there's a certain point where, like, the nurse needs some help, too. Like, I need some care. I need somebody to care for me.
Yeah.
You know, thank God I have friends and a boyfriend who I'm able to talk to. Like, you know, it's like outside people I can talk to. You know, but then again, do they fully grasp? You know, it's more so like a vent session. Like I didn't vent to people and they'll like throw ideas out, like, oh, maybe you should try this. And it's like,
but you be so tired.
You
be so tired.
That's what it is.
It's like, and like I said, say if the second oldest have a bad night over something so simple, it will trickle down to the next one, which will be the first oldest. Like she'll feel some type of way because the second oldest is having an issue, and then maybe one of us got to go run to the first oldest and be like, okay, you good? Because don't worry about her tripping. You good? Remember about your mental health. Remember, you're doing great today. You've had a wonderful, like, it'll ruin everything. It will ruin everything. And then out of nowhere, a fight might break out. Police might come randomly.
Department of Health might be called.
Right, exactly.
We've had a couple hospital visits.
Yeah, so it's been so bad that some of our nieces have had to go to the hospital throughout the pandemic because of them having to stay in the house, having ADHD and stuck in the house. That does not match up with.
Right. Like, yeah, you can play outside, but it's not the same. She's like, kids are used to playing, you know, multiple hours out of the day. Like,
getting up, because think about it. They wake up, they get on the laptop, and they sit down all day.
Right.
And then we tell them, all right, sit down some more, do some homework. I gotta sit down again. Right. And then they're thinking, I want to get up and go do something because.
So let them go outside. And then come back and they're like, I didn't really satisfy
anything. You're right. Because when you think about it, when you go to school, you gotta get up, put your clothes on. That's wore you got a little bit already. You gotta walk to the class. You gotta move around. You might do activities inside the classroom.
Yeah.
And then
they're just missing a big part of their lives, and I feel like that's why everything is so extreme at the moment. But you know, I feel like really it was inevitable, this behavior, but I feel like it manifested a lot quicker because we're forced to stay in the same house. Yeah, because we have all these kids in this one house. You know, so it's challenging.
Yeah.
But we're trying to overcome, you know, everybody else's issues, and then, you know,
including ours,
yeah, like,
because outside of our family, we've had relationships with other people, we have friend relationship, you know, all of that. We have outside things. We have our own mental health to worry about.
Right.
We have periods every month.
And you know, if you know,
you know,
that's a mental illness issue in its own. Like,
girl,
you know, PMS is real.
It's sick.
PMS is real, and it will have you feeling some type of way.
And then throw that on top of being in a small ass house. House is not big at all.
Yeah, so we have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. I believe is somewhere. I don't think the house is 2,000 square feet. I'm not mistaken. I think it's less.
This Airbnb we in is bigger than that.
Yeah, so currently, if you're looking around like, where they at? You're like, y'all got a perfect time.
Right.
No, we're in San Diego for a weekend trip because one of her friends actually, you know, provided us with a trip, like somewhere else. So
she was trying to take me away for my birthday.
Yeah, so her birthday was Christmas Eve, so this is like a nice surprise.
Yeah, it was happened to. He was like, "Can you just bring your sister?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we came out here and we thought we'd record this video. And Jesus, this Airbnb is bigger than our house.
This living room is bigger than our living room, to be honest.
It is.
Our living room was literally just this section. Yeah. So that's just like an overview, you know.
Rundown on
if you can relate to anything, you know, just write us down in the comments. We'd love to hear, you know, your feedback.
Yeah. We make this video for you guys to know where we've been, why we can stay consistent, open, and be more personable with you guys. I feel like you guys know us as SistaLoc. Okay, those 2 girls with locks.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Some wigs, you know. But this is to be more personable, so you guys can know more about us and what our background is like.
Yeah.
And also, what else is another reason? It's 3.
And basically, like I said before, it's like this is like our therapy. This is our way of expressing ourselves because we talk about it amongst ourselves, and so we just wanted to
just let it out.
Yeah, let it out on camera because you know that's the life we live.
This is what people do, you know. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
this is what it is, and hopefully after this video we get some encouraging comments, because when we see you guys comment and say things, that keeps us going. Because we don't see nothing, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, they like our video.
They don't like us anyway. So
Yeah.
why even waste my time? But then again, I'm thinking like, we're not doing it for other people. We're really doing it for
ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, for real. Thanks for watching, and see y'all next time. All right. Is it gonna work? I don't know. Girl, this shit better than recording.
You said you pressed